Okay, everybody, that wraps up the top 5 movies and TV stars.
TV stars. We didn't do a top 5 Stevie stars. Let me think.
Stevie Stars.
Stevie stars.
Stevie Stars.
Stevie Wonder.
Stevie Stars.
Stevie.
That was the 80s TV show. Stevie Stars.
Oh my gosh, that is an 80s TV show.
Stevie Stars. Okay, here we go. Top 5. This is each one of our favorite top 5
Star Wars things.
Star Wars movies and television included. We included TV. So this is our top 5 list, which is a pretty serious list. So this could be either movies or television. You go first. We'll start with number 5.
We'll start with number 5 on mine.
You're not gonna guess. You're not gonna believe what my number 5 is. But go ahead. You give me your number 5.
I know what your number 5 is.
No, you don't.
Star Wars Rebels.
Oh, that is surprising.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
I like that better than Clone Wars.
That show is incredible.
I like Rebels better than Clone Wars because the problem I had with the original trilogy is like one of my favorite aspects of Star Wars in general is the lightsabers and the lightsaber fighting. And one of the problems I had with the original trilogy was that I love all the lightsaber fights are awesome in the trilogy, so you don't get a lot of them. And in Rebels, they were able to like make the Imperial era like lightsaber awesomeness. Like,
yes.
Like there were a lot of people who had double blades.
Yep.
And like that, like all the Inquisitors, of course, had double blades, and so did Maul. But yeah,
I like that. My number 5.
Oh gosh.
Is the Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars.
Ah.
A lot of people don't know there's a Clone Wars before the Clone Wars.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
So there's a director, his name is Genndy Tartakovsky.
Who did the Samurai Jack.
And he was responsible for Samurai Jack, which
on
was on Cartoon Network, which was a show back in the, I'd say 2000s maybe? Yeah, early 2000s is when they did Samurai Jack. Such a good show. Anyway, but the first 4 seasons of Samurai Jack are just incredible. So he did like I think it was a whole bunch of 5-minute shorts that they put all together to make a series. And now the only place I've been able to find them is like if you go on eBay or something like that, and you can find somebody that has the DVDs of it. Mm-hmm. I don't even know if they have the digital. I haven't looked in a while, but I don't even know if it's available digitally. But they're really, really good if you can find them. Mm-hmm. The Genndy Tartakovsky.
Oh yeah, you have to watch those
because everybody's a boss in it.
Everybody, like they're like especially Mace
Windu. Oh my gosh, just goes off.
It's like the infinity of Samurai Jack. But he's like, he's just like.
Yep. I know. I love it.
Exactly like that.
Exactly like that. All right, what's your number 4?
The Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars.
That's awesome. That was my number 5, and that's your number 4. The Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars. Well, there you go. You already heard all about that. My number 4.
Please be the fan.
Yeah, right. Is Episode 4. My number 4.
Pray for him.
My number 4 is Episode 4. I am a purist. I love Star Wars. I love the original trilogy. The original trilogy is just.
Don't get me wrong.
It's the beginning of it, right?
Yes.
I cannot get away from when Vader storms in
the stormtrooper thing.
And I mean that is one of the most incredible things I've seen in my entire life. When just Vader just comes in like a boss, right, and just owns the place. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And terrifying when you're a kid.
When you're a kid.
Well, not now.
I mean, I love Episode 4.
But back in my day, it was terrifying.
Like, Episode 4 is awesome. Episode 5 is awesome. Episode 6 is awesome, you know? I do love those movies.
All right, I'm going to guess your number 3.
You're going to guess it?
I'm going to see if I can guess your number 3.
Okay, go ahead.
Your number 3 is Episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
Yes, it is.
Yes!
Yes, it is. And I guarantee you, I'm one of the only people on this planet that has that. I'm a prequel guy. Yeah. I am a prequel guy. I love the prequels because
there's a lot of people your age that are prequels. I found out.
But Attack of the Clones for me, like I feel like if I had seen it like in a later point in my life, I would have more problems with it than I do. It's because I don't really...
I have lots of issues with that movie, by the way.
I don't know why, because I don't care about the whole Padme and Anakin thing. I just don't care about it.
I know.
It doesn't... I don't see why that's a problem. I mean, it's Shakespeare, but I still don't care.
I hate sand.
No, see, no.
Rough and coarse.
I wish there was something in the original trilogy I can make
Gets
fun of.
everywhere.
Oh, the kissing.
Huh?
Kissed his sister. I can make fun of that.
Well, you could make fun of that, which
Yeah.
is pretty gross, but
Yes.
they didn't know it. They didn't realize.
That's her excuse.
All right. My number 3.
Should I guess this? I want to guess
Yeah,
this.
guess what my number 3 is.
Well, if you're...
You're not going to guess it.
Mandalorian?
Oh my gosh, you did guess it! Yes, my number 3 is The Mandalorian.
You put Mandalorian above A New Hope?
I can't believe that I did.
Are you sick?
I love The Mandalorian. I'm telling you, man.
Wow.
I think part of my love for The Mandalorian is just because coming off of episode 8, I think I was so let down. I felt so let down and disappointed in episode 8 that The Mandalorian is just like, oh my gosh, it's like they saved it, and I'm so excited. I love The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
He's like he's such a hero, and he's Batman.
Like,
except in Star
You
Wars.
can barely get better than Star Wars Batman.
I know, it's like Star Wars and Batman.
Like, you can't really get better than
You
that.
can't get better than that.
Unless it's Star Wars and Spider-Man.
Wrong. For another
All right.
for another show.
Alright, 2. Number 2.
Number 2.
For me, Last Jedi.
You
No,
a lie.
No, I'm not. No.
That is not true. You're about to be disowned.
Forces of Destiny. That's worse. Holiday special.
Forces.
The holiday. We could keep this going all day.
Oh, you're fired. All right, go ahead.
All right. My second is Phantom Menace.
Yeah. What? Your second is Phantom Menace?
Yeah,
Oh,
my
duh.
second
Of
is
course.
My second is Phantom
Okay.
Menace. Because my favorite Star Wars character of all time, his favorite is Vader, obviously. But my favorite of all time is the late but awesomely great Darth Maul. Because Darth Maul does not lose unless it's Obi-Wan or Palpatine.
Well, yeah.
Okay, well, he does lose sometimes, but
We'll do a thing about the Clone Wars. We'll do a show on
Yeah.
the Clone Wars, and we'll talk about all that. But
Yeah.
okay, my number 2 is
Return of the Jedi.
Episode 5, and I'm gonna tell. I know.
Two mind boggles
Everybody
in a
else,
row.
everybody else is like,
Oh.
what? Okay, I'll tell you why Episode 5 is my second
Why is
favorite.
it the same? What? I thought
I know.
Because it's like the I am your father thing. That's why this show is called why it's called
Which
it.
is like one of the biggest movie twists and biggest mind-blowing
Yeah.
moments in movie history. Yeah, so it's pretty awesome. But number 5 is, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Why number 5 is my second favorite.
Oh, number 5 is. I'm getting thrown off here.
Yeah, Empire Strikes Back is my second favorite Star Wars
Yeah.
thing. What's your? I know what your number 1 is. Go ahead and tell everybody.
Yeah, it's Revenge of the Sith, obviously.
Well, I will say that the lightsaber fight between Obi-Wan and Anakin at the end is incredible.
Dude, you know a movie is good when you got not swords, in this case lightsabers, which are better than swords in my opinion. They're swinging like 50 swings a second. And that's what that fight on Anakin and Obi-Wan, between Anakin and Obi-Wan was. And can I please highlight when Yoda uses the Force to spin the thing around and throw it back at Palpatine?
Which is pretty cool.
You
We
can't
got
get
some
better
good
than
Force
that.
fighting in that movie.
Force, lightsaber. See, I love Revenge of the Sith because I feel like it's a well balance of story and it's a well balance of like fighting. Like there's not too much of both. Like it's a nice blend of awesomeness, and it's my favorite of all time.
I totally get that. I get that. Okay, and of course my favorite is Return of the Jedi, episode 6. Here's why. Here's why episode 6
Honestly,
here's why I know, but
here.
here's why episode 6 I like episode 6 better than episode 5. Because I cannot get over the moment where Darth Vader is redeemed. You know, I cannot get over that. To me is so special. The fact that, I mean, as a dad, of course, maybe, I don't know, maybe when you're a dad one day you might change your mind.
No, I won't.
No. Anyway, as a dad,
Don't hold your breath.
as a dad, when you know the son's going, but I have to save you, and he says, I already have. I mean, that is just, for me, that is magical. I love that moment.
That's an absolutely touching moment.
And not only that, but also the fact that Luke just basically like sticks it to the man.
Exactly.
Okay, Luke's journey from 4 to 6. You know, in episode 4, Luke is like,
From 4 to 8.
no,
From 4 to 8.
from 4 to 6. 4 to 6. For episode 4 to 6, Luke's journey, you know, he's like, I'm gonna go on Tashi Station, look at the you know, I wanna go, yeah. He's like, yeah, that. He's that.
A little bit of whining.
But then when he gets to episode 6,
he's completely like focused.
He comes in, he's focused, he figures it out. I mean, he lays down the Gamorrean guards when he comes in Jabba's
with
palace.
The Force choke,
which is yeah. I mean, he's dressed in black. I'm like, dude is a boss, and you know, it's just cool, man. It's just cool. And so Luke is awesome in that movie, and his story is so cool. And of course, you know, you also have Vader's redemption, so that's why Return of the Jedi is my favorite Star Wars. I know, but that's okay.
I'm surprised at that.
I'm not surprised at your list at all. Except for Rebels. You did get me with that. I did not expect Rebels to be on your list.
And my list is very predictable because he knows me. And I also
we do know each other pretty well.
We do. And which is why I'm surprised at that list. I'm very surprised.
I know, right? I put a lot of thought into that.
I mean, I'm not really surprised at what was in the list. I'm more so surprised of the way you arranged the list.
Yeah.
Is the way I'm surprised. But another thing for episode 3 with me though is I love the scene between Palpatine and Anakin at the opera.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's very well done.
I
feel like it sets up everything very well, and it sets up like the evilness and the evilness.
You can say evilness. It's okay.
Evilness and the ominous part of Palpatine's character, and how he's like, you can tell. It's just I don't know, but there's something about that scene that's just awesome. It's like they're deep in thought, they're deep in conversation, and you like and I feel like that scene actually sets up the rise of Skywalker very well. And especially the fact that he uses that exact same line.
Yeah, that's true. I
feel like that sets up that very well, as the fact that he is a full-blown, like Palpatine is a full-blown Sith, and also sets up Anakin's need to save Padme.
Yep, I'm okay with that.
Anakin's desperation.
Yep.
Or his like, you know, I finally found the supposed thing that can solve all my problems.
Yeah, I agree. So very cool moments in all those movies. Okay, everybody, that wraps up our top 5 Star Wars movies and TV lists. Thanks for hanging out with us, and
make sure you subscribe and hit the bell for notifications.
Until next time, McClunky.